All right, so I've got this piece shaped up a little bit more how I want it. I've been working with a rib, but it occurred to me that I want to show you how to close up a shape that has just a small opening like this. You don't have to have a closed form, but if you want to have a closed form, what I like to do is I like to get it almost closed up, like nearly to the point, right, that all I can fit in here is my finger or the end of a tool or something like that, so that I can so that I can shape it that way. But then at the end, I like to make a little plug. So I'm going to make a little flat shape that is a little bit thicker on the bottom. It's just a little bit bigger on the top than my opening, and it's a little bit smaller inside. It's kind of like a little lid. And I'm going to set that onto there. You could score and slip if you've been scoring and slipping, but I'm not, because I haven't been scoring and slipping. I'm going to compress the outside. Now think about it, you haven't been able to compress the inside, so you've really got to compress the outside to make up for it. So now I've got this piece closed up on top. It looks a little wonkety, right? So using my paddle or my rib, I can work on smoothing that. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you, just to remind you, I think we've seen it elsewhere, but this rib is great for smoothing and small alterations in the shape. But this rib here is a great one for if you've got things that are a little bumpy, a little uneven, because this one actually is going to take away some of that clay for you and allow you to take a shape that's not quite round and a little bit more quickly make adjustments in the form. So I'm looking for some parts that are a little bumpy, a little, they kind of stick out a little. And I'm gonna start them with this one. And look, I've taken a bunch of clay away. Now I'm gonna come back with the smooth rib. So alternating between the smooth and the round rib, and the serrated rib. And now you can see my shape, or I can't tell if you can see. I certainly can see that the shape is a little bit more rounded than it had been previously. Now, I'm a ways away from being done with this because I've still got some bumpiness and some unevenness. You also have a variety of tools that come with your carving kit, and so those can be used for similar kinds of shaping. You know, an interior serrated rib would be great, but this one doesn't really fit in there. You might be able to fake it with something like this, right? Because I can similarly kind of rough up and remove some extra thickness from those places. And I don't want you adding a ton of clay if your walls are very thick, but if your walls aren't particularly thick and you've got a little part that's maybe got a little unevenness, once you've roughed it up with that scoring tool, you can get in there and attach. Now my clay is pretty soft, so I need to be pretty gentle right now in how I smooth it there, because it's, you know, I've just built this. And so the clay is all pretty soft. If you've been working for a few days, you've built some, and then another day you've built some more, you may have areas of your clay that are a little leather hard, that are a little bit drier. It's a good idea to remember to score and slip when you're attaching wet clay to leather hard clay, or leather hard clay to leather hard clay. It's also a good idea to let stuff dry nice and slow. You're going to have cracking happen if you let the whole thing dry real fast. So this still needs some work, but what I've done is I've split that form. You saw that 2 videos ago. I've built these 2 up as separate pieces, and then I've closed up the top. So I guess I've created a bell, or looks like one of those kettlebells that you use for like weights. But you can use these techniques of splitting and taking apart. In other videos, you saw how to add, maybe I want to add a 3rd piece that comes out. You saw in other videos how to do that. And you can also continue to do some adjustments to the shape of this piece. Thanks.